When we make love, I often end up finding my boyfriend's teddy bear between us, and every time I throw him away my boyfriend says oh no, he likes to watch. Now I am walking away. I have been with my boyfriend for 3 months now, so it's pretty new. So far everything is going well except this tiny little detail. He has this teddy bear. Let's name him Teddy. Teddy has always been a part of my boyfriend's life. He got him for his birth, and when at around the age of 5 or 6, or whatever age is the appropriate age to remove a teddy bear from a child, his parents tried taking Teddy away from him. He screamed and cried so loud without stopping they ended up giving up. So he kept Teddy with him his whole life. He mentioned Teddy to me pretty early, about a week after us being together. He showed me pictures of him and I found it cute at first. He had plenty of pictures of him in different situations, him with a mug, him laying in bed, him studying. I truly found it adorable since I thought it was just a joke really and didn't think that Teddy was such a big part of his life. The more we got to know each other, the more he started mentioning him. He'd often make jokes about him. When he had to come back to his flat, he'd say I have to come back, Teddy is waiting for me, and then later he'd text me okay I put Teddy to bed so now I might go to sleep as well, I don't want to wake him up. Again, a little weird but cute still. But he really started talking about him constantly, always linking what we were doing to him. Oh, I wish Teddy was with us to see that. Teddy doesn't really like people so I won't take him with me for this party, etc. He'd send me selfies with him at least twice a week. He also sometimes said weird stuff like whenever we watched an intimacy scene in a movie he'd say that's what me and Teddy do when we're alone, or when I asked when he lost his virginity he answered, oh I lost it with Teddy a few years ago. They were jokes that made me uncomfortable. He always seems to consider him as a baby / his son / his brother, so his being sexualized was extremely weird for me. I told him then that it was weird and he just laughed, but I don't think he took me seriously. About a month ago, I told him I was okay with him bringing Teddy when he was staying around my flat. I could see it was making him sad to leave him and also was very curious to finally see him in person. I can't go to my boyfriend's flat, some rules are strict, and he can't invite anyone. So that day I drove to his flat and he went with all his stuff and Teddy. When he got in the car he pulled him out from his bag and had him give me a kiss on the cheek. When we drove, he opened the window and put Teddy out of the car, a bit like a dog would. He said it was rare for Teddy to travel like that and he could feel that he was happy. Teddy smells a lot. My boyfriend hasn't washed him in 12 years. For the rest of the car drive, he hugged him and gave him kisses. He has a weird twitch where he just compulsively pats the back of Teddy. It makes a weird sound because Teddy used to be able to play music when you pressed his belly. He always rubs Teddy's clothes in between his fingers. You can guess that Teddy is in a pretty bad state. He used to be red and now he's just gray. When we're together in bed, he always puts Teddy's mouth on my mouth and I always avoid it as I find it disgusting. And I told him that I hate it but he doesn't listen. He always tries to have Teddy touch my honker or my arse. When we make love, I often end up finding him between us, and every time I throw him away my boyfriend says oh no, he likes to watch in a joking way. He often mentions us having a threesome with Teddy, him, Teddy, being great at licking, and them always doing kinky stuff together. Now I'm not an idiot. I know communication is important. I tried talking to him so many times, sometimes in a joking way too so he doesn't feel attacked. Like once, I asked who would he choose if he had to choose between me and Teddy, and he said Teddy, but also so many times in a serious way. I told him I didn't like when he was rubbing Teddy on my face and body. I told him I found his relationship with him way too intense and weird, but every time he didn't take it seriously, made jokes, and never truly told me what he thought. I should mention that he is like that for any serious conversation. All he does is make awkward jokes and he never tells me how he feels. He said I love you first because he was drunk. This is becoming hard to handle. I had been away from him for 2 weeks and was kind of relieved I wouldn't see Teddy anymore, but all he did was send pictures, and whenever I asked him what are you doing or what did you do today his answer was playing with Teddy. Today he told me I was perfect, which was a first and I sure didn't expect that. He doesn't give a lot of compliments. When he said that I said really? And his reply was actually no. Teddy is perfect. You come way after him. I just gave up and didn't reply. I have 3 questions. 1. Am I overreacting? Am I the one not being tolerant enough? Am I some boring girlfriend who can't welcome some childishness in her couple? 2. What should I do? Should I let him live his life with Teddy? Should I ask him to make a real choice? Should I ask him to just stop the intimate jokes? Like, who am I to ask such things I don't know? Is it my place to tell him to stop being so weird with his teddy bear? And 3. How do I get him to finally talk to me and take me seriously? Update. I'm safe for those who were worried. I had many questions that were asked so I'm quickly going to reply to the ones I saw the most often. Why are you with this guy? Are you insecure? Why are your standards so low? Etc. I obviously didn't write down his nicest description. Apart from this weird teddy bear fetish, he was a completely normal guy, with friends, going to parties, studying, and so on. He is quite the popular guy, in fact, even though I don't care about this kind of thing. He took me on dates and made me feel special. I really thought he was a keeper. At the beginning him being a little childish didn't bother me. I myself have stuffed pets and even though they're in the cupboard I used to love them as a kid. That's when he started sexualizing his bear and involving me in it that I freaked out. The problem is, it's so hard to tell when he's joking or not. He constantly makes jokes. That's why I never could tell whether I was overreacting or not. However, the one thing I really didn't see coming, and you guys helped me realize it, is his lack of respect toward me and my boundaries. Sometimes it's easier to see from an external point of view. This whole time I was too focused wondering whether it was normal or not for me to feel uncomfortable, and I didn't realize that not once did he help me feel more comfortable despite me telling him how I felt. I was meant to see him today so I picked him up and we drove to my flat. Of course, Teddy was there and when he came in the car, My boyfriend had him give me kisses and stuff. I said stop please in a cold way and he stopped. I said we needed to talk and he listened because I started crying. I thought it would be hard for me to start talking, but since I was so stressed with all your comments I just broke down and cried. I told him how I needed him to stop with Teddy, that he needed to stop being so close and dependent on him, that Teddy shouldn't come to my flat anymore. At first, he was silent, but then he said he didn't understand why I was so uncomfortable with it, that he was purely joking, that he knew Teddy wasn't real, and that it was hurting him to see that I thought he had a problem. I was extremely disappointed in his reaction and just told him I needed a break. I drove him back to his flat and that's where I am now.